My beloved child, stop for a moment. Because a secret about your relationship was just revealed, and it changes what happens next. Before you decide what this secret means, understand something important. You have been looking at what happened. God has been looking at why it happened. You saw the distance, the silence, the change in their behavior. Maybe there was a time when talking to this person felt natural. You could sense their attention. You could feel something between you that was difficult to explain. Then suddenly, things changed. Maybe they stopped reaching out. Maybe their replies became colder. Maybe they started acting as though they didn't care. And you were left with questions nobody answered. What happened? Did I do something wrong? Did their feelings disappear? But what if the truth is different from what you've been assuming? What if they didn't suddenly stop caring? What if they became afraid of what they were beginning to feel? Because sometimes people don't walk away because they feel nothing. Sometimes they walk away because they feel too much. They become afraid of getting attached. Afraid of being rejected. Afraid of being hurt again. And when fear becomes stronger than courage, a person can make a decision that looks completely different from what is happening inside their heart. They can push away the person they secretly want close. They can become silent when they actually want to speak. They can pretend they've moved on while still thinking about the same person. And maybe that's why this relationship has felt so confusing. You were trying to understand their actions, while they were struggling to understand themselves. But there is another part of this secret. They may have believed something about you that wasn't completely true. Maybe someone said something. Maybe someone gave them advice. Maybe they misunderstood your silence or something you did. Perhaps they thought you didn't care because you didn't express your feelings the way they expected. And once a misunderstanding enters someone's mind, it can grow. One thought becomes doubt. Doubt becomes fear. And fear creates distance. The painful part? You may never have known any of this was happening. But God saw the conversations you weren't part of. He saw every assumption, every doubt, and every moment when someone questioned your intentions. And He knows the truth about your heart. So don't destroy your peace trying to prove yourself to someone who hasn't even told you what they believe. Let the truth reveal itself. Because something happens when a person begins questioning their own assumptions. They start remembering. They replay conversations. They notice details they ignored before. They ask themselves, why am I still thinking about this person? Why does this still affect me? And eventually, what if I misunderstood them? That question can change everything. Because once someone begins questioning the story they created, they have to decide whether they'll protect their pride or face the truth. And facing the truth requires courage. That's why I don't want you chasing them. Don't send a desperate message because you're afraid of losing them. Don't try to force them to admit they were wrong. If they are beginning to understand something, let them understand it. If they are beginning to miss you, let them sit with that feeling. If they are beginning to regret something, let them confront it. Because sometimes a person only understands the value of something after experiencing its absence. Maybe they thought they could forget you. Maybe they thought time would make everything disappear. But then ordinary moments started reminding them of you. A song. A place. A conversation. Something small that nobody else would understand. And suddenly, memories return. But listen carefully. This does not mean you should wait for them. It doesn't mean every coincidence is a sign. It doesn't mean you should put your life on hold. And it doesn't mean you should accept someone back simply because they miss you. If this person returns, let them return with clarity. Let them communicate. Let their actions match their words. Because feelings alone aren't enough to build a healthy relationship. You deserve consistency. You deserve honesty. You deserve peace. And perhaps that's why this secret was revealed. Not so you could obsess over what this person might do next, but so you could finally understand that you don't have to control what happens next. Give it to God. If this relationship has a future, He can open the right door. If there is a conversation that needs to happen, He can create the opportunity. If there is a misunderstanding that needs to be corrected, the truth can come into the light. And if this relationship isn't meant to continue, God can give you the strength to release it without believing you've lost your only chance at love. Because sometimes the answer to your prayer isn't getting someone back. Sometimes the answer is understanding why you needed to let them go. And sometimes, the person you were desperately trying to understand was never the real mystery. The real mystery was why you kept questioning your own worth because of their uncertainty. My child, don't do that anymore. Their silence doesn't define you. Their confusion doesn't define you. Their decision doesn't define you. And whether they return or never return does not determine whether you are worthy of being loved. You were worthy before they came into your life. You are worthy while this story is uncertain. And you will still be worthy when this story reaches its final page. So tonight, release the need to know everything. Stop replaying every conversation. Stop searching for hidden meanings. Stop asking whether you were enough. Instead, pray. God, if this relationship is meant for me, bring it back with truth, peace, and genuine intention. And if it isn't, give me the strength to release it without losing myself. Then let God work. Because what is truly meant for you will never require you to abandon your peace just to hold on to it. And maybe the secret revealed today wasn't only about what this person feels. Maybe it was about what you finally need to realize. You don't have to chase what God has already seen. You don't have to force what God has not confirmed. And you don't have to fear what tomorrow will bring. Because the person may change. The situation may change. The relationship may change. But one thing remains the same. God already knows what happens next. So breathe. Let go. Trust Him. And if this story is meant to continue, let it return in a way that brings you peace, not another reason to question your worth. The secret has been revealed. Now let God write what happens next.